So this is a symbolic story representation for the story Dead Poet Society. This is an example to help you understand how this would look for the project you are doing, which deals with the novel Animal Farm. This is just an example. I understand it's from a movie, and so that's somewhat different, but I feel like it's a story that you are familiar with, so therefore it works well here. I'm going to begin the story representation. I'm focusing my representation on the scene with Neil. I think he's one of the most important characters in the story. This is the scene going from him acting throughout up to his death. Okay, the story opens. The scene opens, anyways, with taking place at Welton Academy and the nearby theater. I'm representing that with this plant that's growing because Welton Academy, although the school itself is somewhat stifling, there's some powerful things taking place there that are leading to real growth in these boys, especially in Neil as he discovers what he loves to do. Okay, a key instrument of that is Mr. Keating. Mr. Keating is giving life to these students in a new and profound way, and I think that's represented here. Neil goes through several stages in this, and I'll represent that with these various pictures. At first, though, he is inspired, he loves what he's doing, and he is anxious to go out and share his talent, his ability with the world through acting, and he's anxious to do that. He loves it. So he starts off being somewhat inspired, so I've chosen this light bulb to represent him. Now, I'm representing myself with this flame, just because right away I'm drawn to Neil. He's charismatic, he's fun, he's likable in many ways, and he kindles in me somewhat of an excitement for what he's doing and what he's learning and the overcoming that he represents. So somewhat of an inspirational character. So I'm representing me with this. I find myself very close to him initially. Now, of course, Mr. Keating isn't key in this situation, but at this point, as he's acting, of course, in the theater, along comes Dad. Now, Dad I'm representing here with these handcuffs because he's constantly this character that takes away from Neil all of his abilities. Early on, it's his opportunity to be part of the journalism group. Then he takes away his chances to act, and ultimately he takes away his chances even to attend the school. So he takes away. He comes and he takes Neil, takes him away from the learning that's taking place here back to home. Now, in doing that, his initial reaction, he switches from this inspired individual to one who's momentarily defiant, who says, "No, you've got to hear what I have to say," and there's a rebellion, a mini rebellion that happens here. But Dad does not put up with that. He quelches that rather quickly, and Neil instantly changes into this silent figure who is who has all opportunities to speak taken away from him. Now, in all of this, as the reader, I get further and further away from where the story is going, because there's a part of me that just so desperately wants it to end happily, and I know that Neil is not happy here, and so I portray myself as staying closer to the school and to the inspiration happening there, because I just want that to be where Neil is. But unfortunately, it doesn't go that direction. Also here, I'm representing Neil's mom, and Neil's mom is an interesting character. She only has a few lines in the whole movie, and I see her as the most passive character in the whole show. So I'm portraying her here as a lump of dough, just because she just does whatever Dad basically tells her to do, and so I just find that she's very passive and very flat in a lot of ways. She just has no action of her own. And of course, I'm representing the home of the Perrys as this jail, because it represents the loss of all of his freedom of expression. And of course, this climax comes with him taking his own life because he's not willing to live the life of no freedom here. So overall, though, the story represents, I think, this growth that takes place. And I use this symbol to represent the school, but I think it represents the overall meaning of the story as well. This growth that can take place in characters. And in Neil's situation, that growth really was taking place until of course his father stepped in. And that's the main overall lesson, is that under the right circumstances we can allow real growth that can really inspire and lead to some great things, as long as we allow that freedom and don't restrict it. That was my symbolic story representation for the story of Dead Poet Society. This was an example, and hopefully you've gotten from this some direction of where you could go with the story of Animal Farm. Thank you.